Hi, I'm Danielle Hartman. Welcome back to Poured in PA, a series sharing the stories of Pennsylvania's craft beer industry. We start this episode with a special delivery from our friends at First Sip Brew Box. This subscription service serves up care packages for the beer lover in all of us.
We went on a vacation down to Bryson City, North Carolina. It's literally the size of this building. And, everything closes early, so we hit up the only place that was open, which was Nanatala Brewing. We loved the atmosphere there. People are bringing their dogs in, kids are playing board games with their families. It was just music was playing. It was awesome. So we enjoyed the beer, and then we kind of were like, all right, we're going to start a brewery. Why not? And on the way home, we're like, what would we call it? And we were both like, First Sip, because you like something from the first sip.
Then we realized to start a brewery, you'll need $250,000, $500,000, a lot of money. So at that point, we pivoted. We were going to send beer in the mail because Pennsylvania finally drinking beer like pilgrims for so long. We were able to send beer in the mail. And after going back and forth with their legal team, they basically said, Dennis, you're one of the first ones that wants to do this, exactly what you're proposing. So to be safe, how about you buy a beer distributor or a warehouse or a restaurant, then we'll attach a permit to it. Now, at that point, you have the ability to actually get a permit. So we started doing the math. We're right back at $250,000, $500,000, and just start a restaurant, right? So then we pivoted one last time to the model we have today, where we focus on the story, the branding, the merch. And we're happy we did. So First Sip Brew Box, we are obviously, as you can tell, a husband and wife team. We feature small craft breweries from all over the country, and we partner with small mom and pop shops that make unique things out of beer. So we get the unique merchandise and swag from the brewery, and then we also do collaborations with the brewery where we make unique t-shirts and pint glass designs, and then we partner with those small mom and pop shops that make unique things out of beer. So beer jelly, hot sauce, shampoo out of beer. It can literally be anything. We put it all together and send it out all over the world. What? Oh, this? Oh, it's a brew box. What's in it? I don't know. You gotta jump on and subscribe. You gotta check it out. Only way to find out. Super easy process. All you would do is jump on firstsipbrewbox.com, or we're pretty much on every platform at First Sip Brew Box. We have 3 tiers. You have the brewmaster, the enthusiast, and the connoisseur. The brewmaster is going to get you all the unique stuff from the brewery: pint glasses, stickers, koozies, coasters, t-shirt designs, that kind of stuff. Then the enthusiast level is going to get you that plus other small businesses that make things out of beer. And then the connoisseur is the Mac Daddy. If we have any exclusive products that we made that month from the brewery or from the small businesses, you're getting those, and you're getting the larger size products available for those items inside that brew box. So how a vendor or small business would get involved with us? Super easy. Just email us, Dennis at First Sip Brew Box. We love, the smaller you are, the better. We look at that as a strength because that makes you different from everyone. And that gives us that warm and fuzzy feeling knowing that we're helping those folks out there. The biggest thing that allowed us to be successful is our whole mantra is the best friend of a small business is another small business. We built this company off of collaborations and partnerships. Folks would hit us up, hey Dennis, we were thinking about doing this. Do you have any feedback? Can you help us? And we've never once turned anyone down from setting time in our day aside to help someone else, because we're big proponents of being able to continuously give back, because in the long run that's going to pay off, and it absolutely has for us.
What's it like being a husband and wife team working on a company together?
So it's incredibly gratifying and challenging at the same time, because I know me personally, the big thing is being self-aware and knowing how you communicate. And sometimes I can be really blunt to the point, and then my wife, Sammy being Sammy, would stop me dead in my tracks. Hey, I'm your wife, I'm not an employee. I'm like, ooh, I was about to get punched in the throat.
Yeah. It's definitely helped us grow as a couple, as well as besides, being business owners. Communication is always pretty much on point, except for when, I'm supposedly an employee at times. But, I think for the most part, it's definitely It definitely has helped us grow. We pretty much do everything together, but we make sure that we have our own separate things as well. So like I coach, so that's like my stay away from me. This is my area of expertise. This is my me time. He has his couple of things that he does, but for the most part, we spend a lot of time together. You have to when you own a business. There's more good than bad, I'll say, for sure.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Daily Sip. As always, this is going to be a fun one, a super special episode. We're kind of going a little wavy, going way back in our time machine, hanging out. Another big thing that we try to do at First Sip Brew Box is creating a inclusive atmosphere in craft beer. Like, we all know there's not a ton of diversity in beer, so we wanted to do our part featuring Black-owned businesses in our brew box, and then now leading today, we were able to spearhead the Black is Beautiful collaboration. It's a national collaboration that started with Weather Souls in Texas, and it was to address a lot of the racial inequalities and injustices that America and the world is facing right now. Over 800 to 1,000 breweries got together. There's a base recipe that's out there. Every brewery that's collaborating on this can tweak it, they can make it their own. And part of being with the collaboration is 100% of the proceeds have to go back to something that's either helping racial injustice, equality, and that brewery has to commit, and this I think is the most important part, they have to commit to what they're gonna do to make their business and craft beer more inclusive going forward. Because that's definitely something that the industry itself faces, being a Black male going into a brewery, and I never felt that tension. But there were times, certain breweries that we went into, we would be waiting to get served and we wouldn't even be looked at, we wouldn't be addressed. So it's definitely a thing. So this movement definitely needed to happen. And I think overall, it's going to definitely help the face of craft beer, but not just that, it's gonna help many other parallel industries as well. All right, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and, just get started, keeping it real. Most of you guys know me as being the super positive, energetic, charismatic, like this just crazy guy. This topic that we're going to be talking about today, I'm still going to bring my normal positivity and everything to the table because I am an optimist. And it was just really important to us to speak out and say something and have some type of conversation around what's facing our country and everything today. So a little bit about who I am. By creating First Sip Brew Box, we've created a platform where I don't want to say our voice matters more than someone who doesn't have a platform, but that's just facts. If you have a platform, you're going to be able to reach more people. We were the first business in craft beer in Pittsburgh that actually spoke out whenever these racial injustices and everything were really being brought to light. And we felt that innate, you're a leader in this industry, you need to say something. And Sammy, my wife, she would tell me that morning hey, we need to do something, we need to say something. And then me being analytical and us relying so much on the revenue and everything from First Sip to pay our bills that we lose 2 subscribers, we're not paying our phone bill. And as all these thoughts are running through my head, it hits me. We can afford, if folks want to stop subscribing to our business, we can afford to lose subscribers. But what we can't afford to do is lose ourselves and who we are as business owners, who we are as people, our values, everything that we stand for. We face racism as a business. We face racism as individuals, as a mixed couple. So we were organic and transparent and shared our story and what needs to happen. The community embraced it. We didn't lose any subscribers. We have actually gained some, which is absolutely phenomenal. But by having a platform, you also have to use it responsibly. By putting out things that are authentic, and that's what we did. And the community stood beside us, which was phenomenal.
We've met so many great, amazing people that we've become close friends with. It's just this huge community feel. I think that we both can agree on that is why we love it the most.
Now for a look back. I think we're all longing for the return of beer festivals. We have two of our favorites from before the pandemic for you. One of the more unique beer festivals that we've enjoyed has to be the Autos and Ales in Hershey. 2019 marked the 10th year of this annual festival, and we were there for the party.
We had an events manager here probably 12 years ago or so who was always looking for new innovative ways to make money for the museum and bring people through the door. I was a curator back at that point, and he said to me, "Have you ever been to a craft beer festival? I hear they're pretty popular." And I said, "Yeah, they're a lot of fun." And we ended up going to one that was held at the Hershey Gardens, the Butterfly Gardens right up the road. And he fell in love with the idea of having one at the museum. So this gentleman went out and just started recruiting breweries. And the first couple of years it was slow going. We had to pay for beer occasionally, hard to get people to come, hard to get breweries to come. But by like year 3 and 4, we were selling out every year and having a great time with a fun event at the museum. You wouldn't think normally a beer festival would go well in a museum, but it certainly does. You know, we've had broken pint glasses, we've had a few things like that. Knock on wood, we've never had a problem with a car being damaged. People have been very respectful for the collection and the atmosphere they're in, and it's just been a really good event that way.
We love coming to this festival. They have multiple levels and bands playing, good food, and just to be around all these fancy cars is a great experience.
You know, great food, great beer, great atmosphere, always a fun time.
This is unique for me. I'm a car lover at heart. I did work in the automotive industry for roughly about 16, 17 years before I made the decision to pursue my real passion in life.
We love cars, so both myself and the other gentleman that are here tonight, Tim, we're both car guys. So for us, as soon as we were told, we were at the train one with the Rails for Ales, the guy was like, "Hey, you want to come do the car one?" We're like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, "You know, it's an hour and a half away." I'm like, that's fine. We'll jump in the car for an hour and a half to come see these cars and just check out this museum.
We get people that come from up in New York, New Jersey, and Maryland, so it's a well-attended event. The breweries are set up on all 3 floors here, so if you travel around, you want to take in all the breweries, you're going to see the whole collection as well. It makes it for a better, well-rounded experience, I think, for the visitor.
This one is a new one for me. A lot of them are outdoors in the heat or the cold. They're a little uncomfortable. This one, I feel like everyone's going to have something to look at and something to do, as opposed to just go from tent to drink. You know, it seems really exciting to me.
It seems like the same people that always love to attend these festivals, but I think there's some that are coming to this just because they want to be at the museum and experience the cars, while they get to have a lot of great craft beer and good local food.
I attended a couple other beer festivals, but this one is always nice because of the atmosphere with the cars. I'm just excited to be here with my friends and family and have a good time.
We get to try all the different beers and see the cars. It's not wild and crazy, but everybody seems to have a really good time.
Yeah, we all have kids, so we really enjoy getting a night out. So coming to the Autos and Ales every year is definitely a thing that's been on our calendar for about the last 3 months.
We've been coming here about 4 years now. Definitely a big uptick in different breweries coming. Bigger crowds too, just selling out a lot quicker.
I've been doing this fest for about 4 years. You know, the first year I did the fest, I kind of was like, oh, it didn't seem like that many people, but it was, you know, for 4 hours, it's a whirlwind of like, you're just pouring beers, and then you get to walk around and talk to your, you know, friends from other breweries, and it's kind of, I think it's gotten bigger. I think it's gotten more tuned in. We're in a spot that I don't think I've ever seen breweries set up in, this far into the museum.
It's grown substantially, actually. I think initially there may have been 20 breweries here, 15 breweries, and now they're up to almost double that. So they've really grown, and it's been great to see.
We try and do themed beers now every year. We try and get a brewery to do a beer. They will debut at our event and then sell in their brewery afterwards. What we like to do is get the brewer to come through, make friends with them, have them see the museum, and then find something that logically ties in for them.
The folks from the festival reached out and see if we were interested in doing a collaboration and making a feature beer for the festival. So we call the beer Big Bad Orange. It's the color of the car. Beer's West Coast IPA. We put all Citra in and then some orange peels to it too. Super tasty.
In 1969, American Motors AMX, and it was all orange, including the bumpers, had side pipes and this high-performance 390 engine in it. And the octane rating that was required for that engine was well over 100 back then. Can't get that kind of gas anymore unless you're buying racing fuel. And we had them match the IBUs to the number for the octanes, and it was a really, really good beer.
I like beer festivals because it gives me a chance to come and check out all the different breweries that I wouldn't normally go out to go see because they're kind of far away. So it's nice to have them all come in one place.
I enjoy trying a lot of the new beers, especially from breweries that are from outside of our area, and it's a great time.
I like to learn more about the different brewers and how they got started in their business and how they're growing their business and what restaurants they're in.
The best part about festivals is just getting to actually talk to people about the beer. I don't work in our pub much, so getting to see people taste it, especially people who haven't had us before. It's always good to have them come in and give them their beer, talk about us, say who we are, what we do, where we're from.
Festivals is our marketing. We're just a real small fish in a big pond that we need to come to more of these events to get people to try our beer in order to get that recognition for someone to stop by saying, oh, I've had their beer before. Yes, let's go make the trip to the tap room.
Of course, you come out to these fests and you want to see what's out there. But most important, it's just kind of that one-on-one that you get with the customers. And this is a great, fun way to do so.
I would say festivals are pretty cool because you get to meet a lot of other craft beer lovers, make new friends, try new beers. What I like most about it is you get to hear like everyone's story. So they come up and they're like, oh, I remember stouts 30 years ago. It's cool to hear how the industry has changed and what people like about it.
Festivals are fun. Not only does it get out to an area where you might not get our beer, but it also allows the bar staff or whoever's doing it to get out and socialize with people, see what other beers are out there. We typically come back from a festival and we'll talk to the owners, we'll talk to the brewer and be like, hey, this company was doing this. You know, with beer, it's continually growing and you're not the first person to have every great idea. And everyone's pretty relaxed in this industry where you share ideas, go back and forth. So festivals are always fun for both sides, business and for the staff, just to have some fun and to see what's going on out there.
It's always the first Friday in November, so it's usually like the first, second, or third, right around there. Always a Friday evening. And I'm about to start recruiting breweries with the hopes that we'll be able to hold some kind of an event indoors here. We may have to change things a little bit at this point. We have to figure it out and see how things evolve, but we're definitely planning to have the event and we're looking forward to it. It's fun, not only for us, the staff actually enjoys working it. It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year as well, and being a nonprofit educational institution, we depend upon it. So it was sorely missed in 2020 and looking forward to being able to do something in some capacity in 2021.
Next up in our trip down memory lane is the Lititz Craft Beer Festival. This event sells out in a matter of hours, and we now know why. Check it out.
We're at the Lititz Brew Fest. We're here in one of America's coolest small towns. The streets are packed for a beer fest. This is Lititz Beer Fest, a 4-hour festival where there's food from all over and a plethora of various different kinds of beer.
We brought Hipster Catnip, Submissive IPA,
Capona Fest,
Oktoberfest,
Ninja Boots Hazy IPA.
We have a Cucumber Cream Ale.
We have a cask of pumpkin ale.
Hoppy Trails IPA.
Jono says a New England IPA.
We have our ESB.
Nathan Miller Chocolate Porter.
Belgian Cherry Wheat.
Juice Caboose, a New England IPA.
Ghost Pepper Stout.
Sultana Nirvana, it's an American Pale Ale.
And Gestalt, our Hefeweizen.
There's so many good breweries here. We have so many great breweries in Pennsylvania. We're really blessed to have all that. But no, I think I'll get around and see most of them. But with 90 of them, I'm not sure.
You're going to see, I think, number one, a beautiful little town that's really invested in craft beer and great food. You have everything here from some of the icons and the pioneers of craft beer to some of the smaller, more local and regional players too that maybe don't even sell here yet. They're just coming to make sure that they introduce themselves to this crowd.
We do love doing this festival in particular, just because people up here, they're super nice. They're excited to come out on an awesome day. It always ends up being way too hot, but we just found like it's a cool little pocket of people who like coming out, enjoying the town, and drinking beers outside. So it's a nice festival to do. Enjoy.
The homebrew competition was a big hit from the beginning. One of the challenges we had was because it's technically unlicensed beer, you cannot sell it, therefore we cannot sell a ticket. So basically the homebrew competition is free for all as long as you're the legal age of drinking. So even if you don't have a wristband, you can still enter in and judge that.
This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest ones for our area. 90 breweries and it just brings a lot of people out. Ticket sales are crazy. It's always a fun event.
To be honest, it's become, I think, the best craft beer festival in the region. It's incredibly well organized. It's a beautiful setting. The attendance has grown exponentially over the years. We only do 2 or 3 a year, and to me, this is our favorite.
It's grown considerably. I mean, when we went into this the first year, Jason and I and a few others, we had really no event experience other than maybe some bachelor parties and some beach trips. So our first year was kind of an eye-opener, but it's grown from now. When we first started, we had about maybe 2,000 attendees, and it took pretty much the whole summer to sell out.
This year, tickets, we went on sale at noon on July 6th. And within 21 minutes, you could no longer put them in your cart because they were all in process of being paid for, which is just insane. It's been pretty amazing, the response we've seen. I mean, I remember the first year we were looking at our ticketing vendor and just looking at the map populate from where people were buying tickets. And, you know, I guess it's the same with lots of different events. People leave the town they grew up in and go various different places and look for an excuse to come home. And that sort of is maybe what Lititz Craft Beer Fest has become, is a little bit of a homecoming, end of the summer kind of celebration.
We do show up early for this one because the hour before is just people walking around. Oh, hey, how you been? How was your summer? So it's a little bit like coming back from school. And this is like the first festival of the fall season where you actually get to catch up with people after a summer of running a brewery, trying to have a personal life, yada, yada. So everybody has good stories, looking forward to a busy fall. So it's a little bit like coming back from summer vacation a little bit.
There's not been a year we have been here that hasn't been just an absolutely fantastic event. And it's a good time for us to get together with some of our other fellow brewers, trade some good stories about the year and discuss what's coming up and what's trending for the next year coming up.
This is one of our favorite brew festivals in the entire state of Pennsylvania because we know we're not only supporting multiple good causes and the town of Lititz, but we're also giving back into the community through medical and sustenance needs that this, as a fundraiser, provides.
Lititz Craft Beer Fest started as a fundraiser and continues to be a fundraiser for the Lititz Ambucks. Nationally, Ambucks is a nonprofit service club that deals with people who are trying to conquer independence and mobility issues.
And our mission statement is inspiring independence and mobility. We do that through scholarships to occupational physical therapists. A lot of times we'll do trikes for people that assist them with certain disabilities. It's generated quite a bit of funds for us, and through those funds we've been able to support numerous other nonprofit charities and other local service clubs, and even just other parents and sports clubs within the community. So we've doled it out to quite a few different organizations. You know, I've seen a lot of people come in and we get to hand them checks, and you can see how it changes their lives, and that's probably the best part of this for me.
We are blessed in the Lititz community with a lot of people that really do value the community and want to give back. And I think that's one of the success stories for our event, but not necessarily unique to our event. There's just a lot of people that really want to become involved with these things in Lititz, and you know, we are able to capitalize on that.
It's a very tight-knit community, and honestly, without some of the people in Lititz, this fest would never go on. We have, even behind the scenes, from refrigerated trucks to forklifts to signage to the staging, we have a ton of resources, and everybody's been really willing to step up and assist us with whatever we need.
You know, I like this festival because it's so different. It's small town. It's home. People are very pleasant. It's an awesome place.
I thought it was fantastic. It was really cool, like, to see all the diversity of different beer companies represented, and the home brewing companies were awesome. I had a fantastic time. Like, the food, the music, it's just a fantastic time here.
I love all the breweries, all the different opportunities you had to taste different beers.
There was so much in such short a time. I wish we had more time to hit everything. I got to try a lot of stuff that I would have never tried before.
We love coming to Lititz. It's just a wonderful venue and a great town.
A lot of fun people. We really enjoyed the Lititz Beer Festival. Yeah, definitely. As Bavarian, we can say it was like one of the best places we stayed here in the U.S.
Cheers to Lititz, Pennsylvania!
We're told the Lititz Craft Beer Fest is still alive, and the organizers are working on ideas to bring it back as soon as it's safe to do so. We'll leave you with a brewery spotlight. We traveled to Shippensburg to check out this college town's favorite brew pub, Maxie's. Until next time. Cheers.
Maxie's Brew House is new to Shippensburg. We just hit our 1-year anniversary on February 1st. It was named Maxie's prior to, and then we just added the brew house on, and I think the previous owner was be pleased, to say the least, that we kept the name.
We entertained some other names for the brew house, and we kept coming back to the fact that folks around town are going to say, oh, it's in the old Maxie's. Everybody knew Maxie's. So it kind of settled on itself, because why reinvent the wheel? Everybody knows this building.
Maxie's Brew House has 24 tap system. Most of the brew is made here in-house. We do offer some guest taps. We also sell PA wine and PA distilled liquors, drinks that our bartenders have created. And then we have a small tapas shareable plates menu.
I'm one of 6 brewers here, so we're kind of unique in that way. We all have gotten to know Ray over the years, the owner. All of us that brew here started as home brewers. All of us been doing it for quite a long time, out of our garages and entering homebrew competitions and things like that. We come to this with different experiences, different styles that we're interested in brewing and exploring, and because there's 6 of us doing this on a small system, it allows for quite a bit of variety. So we're unique in that way, and it's kind of allowed us to experiment and try different things in small batches, on a 1-barrel system. The brewers collaborate a lot and talk and plan about, hey, what we're thinking, and we sort of all have a lane, something that we enjoy doing. One of our brewers is very interested in sours, and that's pretty much all he brews is sours. Another guy really loves IPAs, does a lot of those. I'm a traditionalist, probably do more traditional styles, English style ales and things like that. So you're gonna find kind of the gamut of beer styles on our tap list, which is really cool that we can offer something for everybody. One of the things that's really become popular here that I brew is an Irish red ale that we do called Raider Red, in tribute to the local university here in Shippensburg being the Red Raiders. So it's a traditional Irish red ale, been a pretty popular seller, so I enjoy drinking that. It's been something I brewed for a long time in my garage, and thought, let's bring that to Maxie's. ESBs, Kolsch's, I try to brew those styles because I enjoy drinking them, and I feel like they don't get a lot of love in the craft beer community lately, so that's kind of my lane. I brew a lot of that style stuff, and I'll break out the occasional IPA. I've got a West Coast IPA in the can right now that I'm brewing, and that's kind of my lane and what I enjoy drinking and what I end up brewing a lot of.
In addition to the Maxie's in-house brews that we have on tap, we have 3 additional guest taps as well. I guess I'm the one that kind of spearheads that and travels around. Maybe I'm the lucky one, if you will, that gets to go and taste and see what would be a good fit. I try to get something different than what we would typically, brew in-house. But really it's kind of word of mouth. If someone recommends something, I head that direction and give a taste, reach out, and we go from there. So
the guest taps that we featured have been other, relatively really small breweries on our scale. So that's a kind of nice feature that, it's stuff that you're not finding at every other bar.
The community has had a great response to Maxie's. I think a lot of people were excited for it to open up, especially with the history that the building itself and the prior business had. This establishment has been here at least since the 50s. It was a local favorite to a lot of the university attendees and alumni, so that has been a great hit. And then getting the word out via social media, word of mouth seems to be the most popular way to learn about Maxie's. I think we get a good variety as far as age goes. Some alumni, maybe more specific if there's a special event at the university, but anywhere, our target audience, I would think, is, in the 30s and up. So, kind of just a little bit more mellow scene. We're not open super late, kind of like a pregame kind of place where you have some fun and some drinks, and then if you really want the nightlife, then you can, hit it up elsewhere. But
we've definitely seen groups of college students certainly coming in and checking us out. More pre-pandemic, I started noticing more and more of that. Certainly faculty from the college were pretty excited about it right off the bat, and So yeah, it definitely runs the gamut. And I even heard of, she mentioned some alumni traveling in from, well across the state because they remembered drinking at Maxie's in their old college days and they had to come see what it was like. So that was pretty cool. Initially, when COVID hit, we slowed down, because the location was physically closed for a while other than some takeout sales. That slowed us down a bit, but we never stopped brewing, which was good. And those takeout sales in those first few weeks kept us going, kept us brewing. In the summer, things relaxed a little bit, and we were able to add outside dining, and that brought people back and allowed things to pick up again, and our brewing picked up at that time, and then of course it got cold and things slowed back down. But yeah, we've never stopped. We've been plugging away.
The food at Maxie's is a little different in the sense of just having a traditional bar food. I've lived in some other areas, so the tapas and shareable plates seem like a nice fit for this to kind of stand out in the crowd, but we also have those traditional items like wings and burgers and things like that. But most of it's shareable tapa plates that you can, enjoy with friends. I know Ray aspires to have some other locations, if you will, and expand, but at this time we're just excited to see where Maxie's will go and how we can keep this growing and get beyond this 50% capacity rule at this point. But yeah, we aspire to do things and share our brews with other locations as well.